Okay, welcome to Lab 11 of AI-102. This is the third lab in the generative AI part. And we're here in our Azure environment. We already have an OpenAI resource, but for this lab, we'll also need to create a search resource and a storage account. So let me just show you how this works. We've used search previously with the language service. Now we're going to create a separate one. I need to have a name. And this needs to be in the same region as our OpenAI service, which is in East US. Which is currently not available. Disabled due to high demand. Okay, so we need to create a new OpenAI service in East US 2 first. Yeah. So let's call it deepdives-eu. OAI East US 2. So while that is deploying, then let's go back to search. And put it into East US 2. Pricing tier should be basic. There we go. And the rest should be okay. All right. And then we need a storage account. Okay, and this goes into East US 2 as well. Let's just put in blob. Standard performance is okay, and local storage is good enough. Okay, then we have some data. So what we're going to do in this lab, should have told that to you in the beginning, is implement RAG, or retrieval augmented generation. So that means that we're going to have some of our own data that we're going to upload into AI search to be used by our Gen AI service. So that data is here. The link is in the instructions. So we have brochures.zip. Now if we go to our storage account, blob containers, can create a new container, Margie's travel. And then there, let's upload our PDF files. There we go. All right, so now we have our PDF files and brochures over here. Then we're going to need some models deployed into our OpenAI. So the instructions make you do that via the Cloud Shell, but I'm just going to go to the OpenAI instead. So I need the deepdives-eu one and AI Foundry. Going down here to deployments. So I need to deploy, and what I need here is first of all the GPT-3.5 Turbo 16K. Yeah. Now in the instructions they want a specific version 0125. Huh? No. I don't get any options. Okay, let's do that one then. Token limit 5K. Don't need enable the dynamic quota. And then let's just deploy. Good. Then we also need a text embedding model so that we can generate vectors for the searching the PDF files. So and for that one we're going to use ADA, text embedding ADA2, and for that we want it standard, yeah, and then model version 2, and again we only need 5K. There we go. So now we got the two models deployed. So we can actually close AI Foundry. And then with search, we need to create an index. There it is. Here we can add an index. Oh, sorry. Import and vectorize data, even better. Okay, where is our data? It is in blob storage. In this storage account we just created. And there is one container, Margis Travel. The folder is the root folder. And we don't need deletion tracking nor authentication via managed identity. Let's just go on to the next. We want to vectorize the content. Here we are. So we need a service that has an embedding model on it. So we need the deepdives-eu service, and there specifically the ADA deployment that we created. And we're happy with that. We don't need images this time. And then yes, semantic ranking is okay. And let's vectorize this just once. Let's put Margis index as the prefix for the object name so we know where they came from, and then we should be able to create the index. So then let's go over to our code. We've already cloned the repository. The directory is 02 use own data. And in here, we need to start off by adding the OpenAI package. It's going to be version 1.0.0-beta.17 this time. We need to set up the keys and everything here. So let's get the OpenAI key and endpoint. Or should I start with the search because I'm here? Yeah, search key and endpoint and index name, right? So the index name was Margie's index. Then the search endpoint and key here. And then the endpoint is of course not here, but I think we can see it here on the overview page. Yep, this one. There we go. And then the deployment name, and this is for the GPT model, right? So it's just going to be the name of the model, if I remember correctly. And then the OpenAI. East US 2. There's the key. And then the endpoint. There we go. So that should be configured. So let's take a look at the application then. Well, that's nice. We don't have to do the import ourselves this time. Here we're reading the configuration. Then we initialize the OpenAI client as we have seen before. We get the prompt text from our customer. Then we configure our data source, own data config. You can see that we're setting the search endpoint and then the key and then the index name here. Okay, so that seems to be working. And then it's going to send over a request to the OpenAI endpoint. So this is the request content. Temperature is 0.9 this time, and then max token 600. And then we're saying extensions, and that's going to be our own data config that we created here. So it's a search chat extension. Okay, and then the response comes back, and then we're just parsing it and giving you also the intent from the context and citations. Okay, let's try this out. Maybe make this window a bit bigger. Okay, another question. Tell me about London. Well, you see it's giving us some text, and it's referring to document 2, quite a lot here. The intent was tell me about London, what is London, information about London. And the other reference is document 1. And these are the documents that we have here downloaded. So there's a London brochure. This is probably the document 2 that is referring to, giving us similar kind of information. And then we had also a general company info. That's probably document 1. Okay, so let's see if we can do this in Python as well. So unfortunately, the Python version is currently broken, and I don't want to spend a lot of time fixing it. So I'll re-record it when they have fixed it. Thanks for listening, and see you in the next lab.